Hogziller back here again at Hogziller Airport in Amsterdam as we are in part 3 of our Airline Tycoon, or also known as Air Mogul, game. We left off here with this contract out for negotiation. So we're going to go ahead and accept all the terms. I know I mentioned in the prior video we were going to look at buying all the land here. Let's see how much that would cost. So to buy is 30,000 a square. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to buy this. So we got 1.2 million. That's another thing with it being further out of town, like in part 1 of the video. It is cheaper to buy them. So we've bought all the land. We don't have to worry about somebody coming in, taking the land away. As you can see now, the whole big square of land I own. Another mid-small airline wanting to use my lovely airport. But they can use it for a price. And they will come back. And they have shown me the money. 265 on regular storage is great. Just want to get these people to send some planes here, though. I need that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this quick. Just because as we expand along here, this might become impossible to correct. And now I got the quality low, so I can't exactly up. End of the year. So as you could see, as mentioned previously, it says what kind of change in value occurred. So I had 527% more parking fees, 23% more in contract signings. Those are those sign-on fees for the master contract. Cargo storage up 388%. Airplane maintenance up 327%. Construction slightly down, always good. But as you would expect, additional charges as land charges should not pop up anymore. This would have included any optioned land. You would pay 5,000 a square on the other screen per year that you have the land optioned. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Bought it outright, but you can see other expenses went up. So let's go ahead and keep going here. Let's get this fully closed off, and it is. Another big airline. I guess I've forgotten like how many like big airlines want master contracts when you play the Amsterdam airport. I usually play the Rio a lot just because it's just slightly harder. And I know the airport won't crash. The game won't crash. Dutch Air. Let's just take a quick peek here at turnover. I must be somewhere in the middle here. 89. I'm on a -4. That's from all those refueling deals that were refueling was slow or other delays they didn't like. Where did I end up? 8 mil in profit. Okay, let's accept this contract with the extremely tedious clicking. Are we able to... Looks like we got another contract from another small airline. Like I said, this game had a lot of mixed reviews in my first video on the subject. I think some of that had to do with the kind of the repetitive clicking. Um, and I have to agree. Uh, it's just there's not enough to like keep you. There's just enough to keep you engaged, but there's not enough to kind of keep your brain always going, or something new or random to engage you besides the disasters or the hazards where you shut down the runway, as I mentioned in the previous video. I mean, I almost get the impression sometimes from this game that it was only half, or not half done, but it was only like maybe 4/5 done. I only say that because of the zero engagement from the snowplow here that never moves, or the fire truck that never moves. Even I didn't know I had disasters occur. Intentionally, I might take and make the control tower reckless and defund them, and you'll see um, you'll get a disaster screen. Flight number reports delays due to unreliable refueling. British Pan Europe means they want dedicated check-in desks, which is a big pain, like I mentioned in my other videos. Just you have to, like the Air Austria cargo, you need to go to individual each individual check-in desk and click this button for dedicated airline. I mean, I wish there was some kind of, here we go, plane taking off. I had done that before to get the next plane. We'll just watch it here a little bit. We should in theory not lose the contract, but I'm gonna... What I have done later in the game is, I believe I just touched on it before in the prior video, is I will let it go for a month, let all the contracts build up, click them then at that time, just because you'll be getting a new contract like every 4 seconds, and it just becomes tedious. Just something to throw out there if you're playing this game. Let's go ahead. We'll just go with general camera now and see how far along we are here. key things I'm gonna have to figure out here now is like I roughly want to put. I might put all my plane stands in the upper corner here. Maybe some more plane maintains and cargo. This will be like cargo areas, and then I might have runway. I may have runway, runway, runway. Maybe not that far apart, but just to kind of show what my thought process is for expanding this airport in subsequent years. So let's see here on my little rough chart. Something should be happening in May here. We should be getting a new control tower. Um, when I mentioned previously I had trouble with control towers in my first video, the buggiest of them all is the medium, followed by the large control tower, and then the small will from time to time have issues. But let's see here. What side? I'll put it on the right side here. We should be getting in May of 72. There we go. And the control tower says the reason you have the different sizes is it says how many aircraft it can handle. So you can right click on any item and see what it does or what it can handle. So now we got that. Let's go ahead and get rid of the small control tower.
Yeah, 698, heavy, do not exceed 250 knots, head drive.
Wilco, maintain 250 till further advised, Eva 698.
I really honestly think being in the control tower like this is a great part of the game. Another great shot is putting the spectator galleys in. That's another great aspect of the game. Obviously, it'll bring you no money in on a cargo line, but at least you can put them strategically and get some pretty nice shots that like most video games, at least video games that were created prior to the last decade, can't get you. So we got Terminal 3 now. And that means in the next month, 2 or 3, we should be getting Terminal 3. So what I think we're going to do now is we're going to start going to an every month deal here. Because I'm getting extremely lazy of having to click. I'll go with a month only because if you let it go too long, you'll get a failed contract for we regret that we didn't hear back from you, and we couldn't get together and work out a master contract. So that's why I go with a month. So I'll try at the start of every month. If I have something, click on it. But that's gonna be it then for inventions in 1972 after this two-story terminal comes into play. Um, 1973 is another slow year for inventions. Um, you only get a Terminal 4. Um, it's really once you get into that next year that you get the airport police, you get a plane maintain, you get another terminal, and then you get a livestock, which is nice because then you can expand, and basically you're expanding your operation then to other aspects. Okay, so oh man, bad clicking here. Looks like we got a couple flights. Let's accept them. Let's go ahead and sit back, relax, and wait for another month. I just thought personally with this that they could have done a little more in the animation area and in the uh, how stuff works area. Like I mentioned in my first video, I never really understood the difference between aprons and taxiways and how that all works. Like I've if we play this through all the way till the bigger runways come in, I used to build these long taxiways, but these planes wouldn't go down them. They get like stacked up behind each other, and it just didn't make sense. Um, if any of you know like a better strategy to designing airport aprons and taxiways, most definitely leave me a comment, or I am on Discord if you want to shoot me a message on that. Um, else, I'm just going to keep doing it the way I always have. Build the aprons. I might try taxiways on a subsequent runway. Got two more flights again. Runway's doing okay. And no little red squares. And it doesn't make the whole square red. It just makes the upper left corner, I believe, of the runway slot in question say that this slot is not available. So you really gotta make sure you're looking closely at your runways. I like the one other thing in the lower left-hand corner. There's the average temperature. That's in Celsius. Another sign of a mainly European design game, and I believe the designers were from Europe um, on this game, the Gold Star software. Um, but to give it a much more appealing, oh, there we go. What did we get here? Not enough admin, two-story terminal. Let's go ahead. Air Belgium. And a Dutch air flight. Now let's get an additional admin in there. I know I had mentioned previously, I'm surprised that nothing bad has happened. I might move these admins way up to the upper corner of the screen now. Make these people walk across the entire airport grounds to get to their admin job. But like I was saying before that, came out, the admin issue. I know they changed it from Air Mogul to Airport Tycoon because they thought it would have much more international appeal instead of saying Mogul. Um, I guess I agree with that. But if you have issues in the game itself, it really doesn't matter what you call the game. As you can see, the contracts piling up here. If we play this through to later in the game when we get awards, I mean, this takes a substantial part of time. Um, I think we could almost do one whole video on me clicking through contracts. I mean, see, I just completed that contract and another came in. And that's why there's a certain point in the game where I just say, no, I'm just going to let it all pile up. I'm only going to do it 12 times a year. Going to keep this game moving along. As you can see, it is already taking multiple videos. We're in our third part here already to reach almost the end of 1972. So three game years here. So that's why I'm just gonna let these contracts just pile in, do them all at once. Maybe just check real quick on how we're doing on cargo. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Here's our renegotiated contracts. Here's something that I usually try, not too successfully, but I go like that. And I got most of them that time. Speeds it up a little bit. I'm just holding down the mouse and dragging it across the check marks. And because this game, you can just go and hold it like this, and there's nothing stopping it. So if I do it quick enough and get off the check mark quick enough, I could avoid putting it back on for renegotiation. Okay, so that is our airport maintain 2. Now frankly, this is another aspect of the game I really don't get. Or at least understand. And what I mean by that is you have this airport maintain 2, and one of the functions you'll see with airport maintain is it's supposed to help against bird strikes. And it seems like airports are either plagued with bird strikes or not plagued with bird strikes. But irregardless of what kind of airport maintain you have, I know it obviously helps maintain the runway, so having an airport maintain 1 is essential. But to have a 2? Well, I don't get it. The only reason I do buy it is because I don't want to have a failed contract because I didn't have the most up-to-date equipment. Like, there will be like some really dumb reasons in this game that contracts can fail. I know one of them, when you do like the passenger path, or if I start passengers on this runway, this airport, is the contract will fail because you didn't have a bus stop or something like. Wow. I mean, I guess I violated my own rule here by checking this. So we'll just once you're in there, you're kind of forced to do it. So we'll just let it sit here. Another thing I gotta think of when planning the airport here is, okay, maybe I'll do a terminal in this lower corner here then, and then have a taxiway with then jet bridges. Maybe. That's why I'm kind of want to stagger these runways out. Okay, so another year in the books. Everything coming in nicely. We should be seeing increases in everything income related, except maybe contract signings, but whatever, that's fine. I must have had a little bit in land there. That's at 19. Usually by now I should be getting my awards here for safety and operations. So yeah, I might build runway out here, and then this whole area would be a huge terminal with lots of retail on the first and second floor, just so we get that extra income. But like I said, that comes with its own challenges. So okay, let's check our contracts here. New airline in here. Bunch of flights. We'll check on our cargo, just see how we're doing here. See, I like the page. Pager's a nice part of this game. But we're getting to the end of this cargo line. What I'm gonna do is I am going to build, or at least lay the groundwork to be built, another line of cargo. But I know at some point that cargo 2 will come out, which is bigger. It holds more. So I don't want to go too crazy. And you'll have livestock 2 and cold storage 2. Another master contract. You know, it almost gets to the point where you almost just want to accept these outright, but you need this. If anything, you need this field to be renegotiated, because you just can't live on like 107. That used to always be a problem. I wouldn't increase those costs, and it was just a grind to get money in. But if you can get some airline to pay $250, I'll take it. But so what I think I'm gonna do here is we're gonna wrap up this video, And where we're going to pick this up is we're going to pick this up in 1974 with some additional items being researched. Else the rest of this year is just going to be me going through contracts, and we've done that plenty of times. Um, and just as I say, we're going to end this video. We do get our High Standards Safety Award. Um, so that goes on to here. Award for merit. I think this only gets updated yearly. But you can see the satisfaction went to happy face. So, anyway, we'll end this video for now. I'll pick you all up in the next part in 1974.